He's trying to force his way, that arrogance I'm talking about, that industrialized world arrogance.
See, I think that our problem, as humans on this planet right now, comes from simultaneously arrogance and a sense of impotence. We also don't believe kind of intrinsically that human beings can actually affect something as vast as the ocean, something as vast as the atmosphere, something as big as the world is. So that's why there's still debate about whether it's human activity that's actually causing climate change. Even though all this, the climate scientists in the world have pretty much locked arms on this thing and said, no, guys, this is us that's doing this. We have a hard time accepting that. And we also have a hard time accepting that we as individuals can make a difference. At the same time, you've got that arrogance, that sense that it's all there for us to take.
We're not just individuals,
right.
And we're not just impotent individuals. Right. As a whole, we can affect change.
Exactly.
And that's really key here in a way that it hasn't been in anything you've done before.
Yeah, well, no, that's true. I mean, Jake knows that he can't do anything by himself. So he goes out and unites the clans and so on, and I think that's true. We're not going to do, as individuals, we have to find ways to work within groups and with organizations, like the NRDC to affect change. I want to tell you an interesting story, because I was just thinking about what Jake does in the movie. He raises an army, and they have a violent confrontation. The Avatar was used for fundraising purposes in Quito in Ecuador, capital city of Ecuador, to draw global media attention. This is not done by me. This was done by others. I only heard about it after the fact. To the plight of the Shuar people who, in the Yasuni Preserve, which is the most biodiverse rainforest
still remaining
on the planet. I mean, you have sort of an order of magnitude more species per acre in the Yasuni Preserve than you do anywhere else, even in the Amazon basin, let alone the rest of the planet. And these people have lived there, since forever. And it turns out, of course, that they're sitting on 800 million barrels of oil, and the Ecuadorian government is opening it up for oil leases. So they had this fundraiser, and they brought in these Ashwar people, some tribal elders. And it was the most amazing photo I ever saw. They're all lined up with their glasses on. They'd never been to a movie theater before. And they must think that all movies look like this. And they had their kind of feathered ornamentation and stuff, And one woman said, who was a tribal elder, basically kind of the equivalent of Mowat in the movie, said, these people in this movie are like us. They have the same problem we have. But they solve their problem through fighting. And we don't believe in that. We believe that we need to solve our problem with dialogue. So this movie needed a better message. And I thought, wow, I've been schooled.
Well, if she sees Monsters vs. Aliens, then she'll change her mind about 3D.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, historically, it hasn't worked out that well. I mean, typically, indigenous people try to negotiate their way out of this, and it doesn't work very well. It's historically never worked, by the way. They always get screwed. Even right-wing bloggers that have seen the movie, the funny thing is they don't actually attack the specific issue. They don't attack the fact that kind of the enemy in the movie is this corporate enterprise which is devastating this place. Because how do you attack that? It's the truth. It's what happens here on our planet. It's happening in thousands of examples all over the world right now. So what they do is they call the movie stupid and fatuous and
godless.
Written and godless. Godless. Yeah, they'll go there as well. But it's almost kind of like criticize the movie outside of the specific thing that upset them in the first place.
Well, part of it is that they can't get their hands around it, because as an entertainment it works. So they can try and say all these things, but it's not deterring audiences from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And their own constituency, in fact, is going to it.
Right. Now, I mean, there are things I would argue against, saying that the film is anti-American. It's not. It may be anti-corporate, and Americans tend to be kind of hard on themselves, you know what I mean, and see themselves in the movie, but that doesn't mean that I was trying to make an anti-American statement. I think every developing or developed nation that has industry and has corporations is equally sort of guilty of this all over the world. It's not just America. I don't think the people that run corporations are evil. I think that the way corporations do business as these kind of superorganisms in influencing governments, having undue influence over governments, and doing things, spending billions of dollars in lobbying to get governments to do things that are against the good of their general population. I think that's wrong, and I think that's happening in this country and all over the world. You know, we've got some major challenges ahead of us as a civilization. But, you know, we're smart, resourceful people. We've survived amazing things throughout history. We're going to figure this out. And, you know, I think it's a wrong message from Avatar that I'm saying, you know, everybody should just rip off their clothes and go back to the Garden of Eden. First of all, we bulldozed most of it. It doesn't exist that much anymore, you know. Secondly, we wouldn't know how to live there anyway. And thirdly, you know, how are 6.5 billion people going to do that? It's not going to happen. I mean, we're right at the sustainability threshold of the carrying capacity of the planet as it is. Some would say that we've gone beyond it. But the answer going forward is it's going to be a technological answer, and it's going to be a social rearrangement. And those two things have to go together. We need smart energy, you know.
And that's probably a perfect place to end it. So let's thank James Cameron.
Thanks, Elvis. That was great.
Thank you, Elvis. So great.